So before I start, I just cleaned the forehead with some rubbing alcohol just to pick up any face oils that I might have. I already cut this plastic bottle in half, and I actually should have made it a little shorter, but I didn't realize that until after I had already applied it. With the nude pencil, I map out where I'm going to place that bottle. And then I use Prozade to adhere the bottle to my skin. I tap the Prozade with my finger just to make sure that it's tacky. And then I set the bottle in place. And this did take some time to adhere to my skin. And there was a little bit of space between my forehead and the bottle, so I just stuck a little bit of cotton underneath the bottle. And then I put a little bit of Prozade over that just to make sure that it stays in place. I add some liquid latex all around the bottle, making sure that it doesn't get in my hair because then it's going to yank it out. Before the liquid latex dries, I roll some nose and scar wax into this kind of worm shape and place that all around the bottle. And then I moistened my fingers and started blending the edges, making sure that I drag it down as smooth as I can get it. Now that that's all smoothed out, we apply a few layers of liquid latex, letting each layer dry before applying a new one. I also brought some of that up onto the bottle so that it's not a harsh edge between the scar wax and the bottle. I apply a light foundation all over my face using a damp beauty blender, making sure that I blend it very carefully around the bottle. And then with Laura Mercier's translucent setting powder, I set my foundation. With an angle brush, I pick up this black shadow from the Morphe 35W palette and I run that through the brows. Next, I pick up this purple color in the Ben Nye Master Bruise wheel, taking that color in the inner corner of my eye and then across my lid. And then so it looks a little more natural, I use my fingers to blend it out. Going back to the bruise wheel, I take the blue color and create a line for my under eye circles. And then I blend it out so it doesn't look so harsh. To kind of give the eyes more of a red tone, I added this red color and placed that over the top. Going back to the Morphe 35W palette, I pick up this plum shadow and blend that into the under eye circles and also the inner and outer corners of the lid. I go in with the black shadow and softly darken my top and lower lash line. And I completely forgot to color the inside of the bottle before sticking it on, so I took a little bit of the blue in the bruise wheel and colored in the forehead. I took Ben Nye's thick blood and covered that area, making sure the inside is very dark and bloody. With the dark red from the bruise wheel, I start shading in the folds outside of the bottle. And then with the blue color, I darken the folds a little more. I also had to darken the area where the skin meets the bottle, just to make sure that it looks like it's going into your head instead of just sitting on top of your head, if that makes sense. I mixed Ben Nye's thick blood with the black gel liner so that it comes out to a very dark red color, and I applied that all the way around the bottle. I take this stipple sponge over the blood just to add a little bit more texture so it doesn't look too neat. I take this white face powder and apply it all over my face and neck to make myself look a little bit more pale. Taking the Morphe 35B palette, I pick up a little bit of this blue shadow and I just use that to contour my cheekbones. And then I took a beauty blender and just softened up that color to make it look a little bit more natural. I take that stipple sponge again and add a little bit of splotchiness to my skin. And I went back and forth between the blue and the dark red from the bruise wheel just to add different color textures to the skin. And I did use my fingers to blend out those colors into the skin just to make it look a little bit more natural. I mixed the gray and blue paints from the WOLFE 12 color palette. And I did add a little bit of extra water to get a soft color for the blue veins. And he had these all over his face and neck, so I took a very light hand and drew squiggles everywhere. And if any of the veins look a little too intense, you can always go over it with a little bit of water just to soften it up. I darkened my lips with a mix of black and blue shadows. I And for some finishing touches, I add a little bit of black shadows to my laugh lines around the eyes, my temples, and underneath the bottom lip. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you so much for checking out all of our Halloween tutorials. Make sure you come back for our Halloween blooper reel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!